Hey, welcome to my channel and to another WW Personal Points meal prep. Everything this week is just very easy, just very simple, good food. So I think it's going to be a good week. Here's the thing, all three things need to be baked, but even though it's summertime, I started early enough this morning before it's had a chance to get really hot outside. Got my air cranked down, so I've not had any problem. And my oven's been going for probably 2 hours by the time you put everything together, because all three things baked at a different temperature, so I couldn't bake anything together. That's just how it turned out this week. So for breakfast, I'm doing an oatmeal cookie, oatmeal bake, and that is from budgetbites.com. I will put it on my website, tell you any changes I made, but link directly to their recipe. I won't even type it out. Then for lunch, I'm having oven baked boneless skinless chicken thighs. It's our favorite way to eat them. Rice and green beans. Couldn't get any simpler than that. And then for dessert, Pound Droppers cheesecake. Lemon. Oh, I love the lemon. When you get all the lemon flavors going on together, it's really good. So I will just, in the description box, I will just link to her recipe. I won't even put it on my website. So that's what we're having this week. And I think it's going to be a good week. I think it's going to help me stay on track. So let's just turn around and get started cooking. We'll start with our oatmeal cookie, baked oatmeal. Get you a big bowl. I have 1.5 cups of unsweetened applesauce. To that, I'm going to add 1 egg. Half a cup of brown sugar. I'm using the brown sugar substitute Truvia Sweet Complete. You can use whatever you want. Half a tablespoon of cinnamon. What is this? Vanilla. Then in here we have a, teaspoon of baking powder. 3/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and a 1/2 tablespoon of cinnamon. Now we just want to whisk this until it's all blended. Next is 1.5 cups of plain unsweetened almond milk, and whisk that until it's blended. Now we just need to stir in 3 cups of old-fashioned oatmeal. At this point, you could add raisins. I didn't have any, and I figured if I bought a box of them, they would go bad before I ate them, so I just opted to leave them out. Now, I'm going to let this sit, I don't know, 20-30 minutes, just to soak up some of that liquid a little bit. The oatmeal did not take nowhere near 20 to 30 minutes, so you just keep watching it. 10 minutes, and I think that's a better consistency to bake. So what I have is a sprayed 9x9. So we're going to pour this in here. This will bake uncovered approximately 45 minutes at 375. I'll let this cool enough to cut. I went ahead and cut it into 6 servings. I got myself one out because I wanted to try it. I have some sugar-free syrup on it. It's really good. It's cinnamony. I think I tasted it without the syrup, and it needs the syrup. To me, baked oatmeals are never sweet enough, and I always add syrup to them. You can do however you want to do, but I think the syrup lends to the oatmeal cookie flavor part of it. So I'm going to save 1 piece out for David for breakfast this morning, and then I will have 4 for prep. We're going to make our rice in the Instant Pot. This is how I've started doing it. I've seen people do it. They talk about doing it. Every time I try rice, in here, it does not turn out. I found some directions on the internet. It did not work at all. So I've done trial and error, and this is the best way I have found. So I have 1 cup of brown rice. This happens to be brown basmati. I didn't rinse it or anything. I just leave it like it is. And I add 2 cups of water. Now, you could hit the rice function on yours, but my rice function stops at 23 and won't let me change it. So I want to go, when you put on your pressure, make sure it's on low and normal. I want to go 25 minutes. Just that couple extra minutes helps. And then we will let it reduce for, well, I'll let it go for 10 minutes, and if it's going to start like spurting out, I'll just let it sit there a little longer. Here is the moment of truth. You can see I've let it sit for 21 minutes, but I heard the little valve pop down after 9 minutes, so it completely released after 9 minutes. So here we go. Listen, if I'm doing this on camera, it don't work. Oh, there we go. See, all the water is used up. It's a nice moist. See, I've been using that little mini dash rice cooker, and I loved it until I tried it in here, and the rice was nice and moist. So this is my new way. My green beans, I rinsed them, drained them, and rinsed them a few times in the can. I just hold my hand over the beans and just do the can like that with the water. It's easier than getting out a colander. And I just like to cover them in water. I don't like them swimming in water because I kind of like to cook it down a little bit. And I add just a little, not even probably a teaspoon. I just shake some in there of the chicken bouillon and a pinch of sugar. Literally just a pinch of sugar. And I'm just going to let these sit here and boil down while I'm doing other stuff. Now, this is not a recipe. It just happens to be our favorite way of eating boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And I honestly think the stoneware has something to do with it. So if you have a stoneware pan, one with sides, not the pizza pan. If you have like a pan, stoneware pan with sides, I would recommend using it because, I don't know, it just does something to the texture. Anyway, I don't cut the, hold on a minute, get my seasoning. I don't cut the fat off because it helps keep it moist and it cooks away. Now what, I've already seasoned the back with house seasoning. I'm going to be eating this with barbecue sauce. I'm not baking it with the barbecue sauce on it because I want the texture of the chicken. And that sugar-free, I've not had good luck baking with it. It just kind of sits there. The other night it did that and I did not like the texture of it. So you can use salt and pepper, any kind of seasoning you want, whether you're going to eat it with a sauce or not. If you're going to eat it with a barbecue sauce or something, I would recommend going kind of neutral, not like a barbecue seasoning or a Greek seasoning or Italian seasoning, whatever you want to put on it. And if you can put it on a regular roasting pan, baking pan, whatever you have. You don't have to be stoneware. I'm not saying that's the only way to do it. But bake it at 425 for, these are probably going to take 20 minutes. My little baby one, I don't know. It might get done quicker. I don't know what happened to that one. So I'll bring you back when they get done. They need to be at an internal temperature of 165. So if 20 minutes doesn't do it, add another 5. Don't go more than 5 increments. At 25 minutes, they should definitely be done. Here are the thighs. They were way up to temperature at 25 minutes, but they just weren't brown enough for me. This will have to do. I don't want them to get any more done because they'll possibly dry out on me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh one. Well, let me weigh the small one first. I already have my scale teared out because I don't want to give myself as many points for this little baby one. So what is that? 1 point. So we'll just say 2 ounces for that little one. And then I'm just going to weigh one. Oops, I'm so sorry about that. I'm going to weigh one of these and just go with that for all the other. 2.5, so we'll just say 3 ounces. Okay, so a 2 ounce and 3 ounces. Here is something you've seen on my channel on meal preps I don't know how many times. On the collab, I think maybe just standalone, it's Pound Droppers cheesecakes. I absolutely love them. I just love them. I'll tell you, I know I was talking to another subscriber and she made it, she hated it. I'm like, I hated the first one I made. The first one I made, I absolutely hated. And I decided to give it another try, and I have fallen in love with them. I'll tell you the key in just a minute, but this is going to be the lemon. And what I have in the bowl is 3 eggs and 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. We want to add a 1/4 teaspoon of lemon extract, and this is optional. I like all the lemon flavor I can get. 3 tablespoons of whatever your favorite sugar substitute is. I have come to like the Trivia Sweet Complete. And then this is the key. 3 tablespoons of cake mix that complements the flavor of the cheesecake. So this is a lemon cake mix. It's not sugar-free. It's just regular cake mix. 3 tablespoons, or you can see on the recipe how many grams. This is not in this recipe on her website. That was like a later addition she started putting in. So I put them in all the cheesecakes because I just think it gives it a little something that it doesn't have without it. And the lemon smell in here is wonderful. So we want to mix this, and I highly recommend using electric beaters because when you get that yogurt in there, it gets so thick, it gets hard to whisk. So you can whisk it, but I went that route, and I quickly went to the beaters. So let's mix this. And we need 3 cups of yogurt, and I'm not going to make you watch me dish out 3 cups of yogurt. I like the Fage. Her recipe say use Fage or Chobani. I've used both. I've stuck with Fage. This is such a rich, thick, creamy yogurt. I think it makes a big difference in the cheesecakes, more so than some of the other ones that I've used. So if you're going to make it, I would pay the little bit of extra money and go Fage. So I'm not going to make you watch me do that, but 3 cups. Not the whole container, just 3 cups. The last ingredient is a box of instant sugar-free pudding. Lemon if you can find it. They stopped selling it around here, but a dear subscriber sent me 4 boxes because I had mentioned I wanted to make a lemon cheesecake, but I couldn't find the lemon. You can use vanilla. I'm telling you, I love the extra punch of lemon with all these additions of lemon flavors. So we want to mix this until it is completely smooth. Here is another way that I differ from Pound Dropper. I don't have a springform pan. I have this 10 by 10 Corningware. I think the very first one I made, I had a springform and it didn't turn out right. That might have contributed to why I didn't like it because I didn't do it right. I got rid of it. I decided I'm going to give it a shot in this pan. I've never looked back. It's a little thinner maybe than a springform, and it's not round like a cheesecake, but you get 9 pieces, little squares, and it comes out perfect for me. So I don't have any problems whatsoever using this. Now, I'm not going to stick my arms in front of you to scoop this in, so hang on a minute. Now we just want to spread it around. This will bake at 350 for exactly 30 minutes. I've never varied from that. 30 minutes on the dot, and it comes out perfect every single time. Now, it may crack. Mine usually does, but it does not affect the flavor. And just looking at it does not bother me. So I'm going to pop this in the oven. And here is the cheesecake directly out of the oven, 1/2 hour. The middle is, I don't know if you can tell, jiggly. That's fine. When it cools, it will set up like it's supposed to. Now here's what you do. You let it sit in the pan and cool 100% completely. You don't want any warmth in it when you cover it up. What you're going to do is cover it in plastic wrap and let it sit overnight in the fridge before you eat it. This is how I do it. First of all, I learned over trial and error. I put a paper towel down over it just in case there's any moisture that arises, in case there is any warmth, any condensation. It will hit that paper towel and not your plastic wrap. But here's what I use instead of plastic wrap. You can see my edges are where they've been folded. It's a piece of beeswax. I'm not going to unfold it. I'm sitting on the thing. Beeswax coated fabric. I found this a couple years ago at Trader Joe's, and I'm pretty sure they don't still sell it. This little piece was cut to fit this, and it's the only thing I use it for. I keep it stored inside here. That's the only thing I use this for is cheesecakes, and this is cheesecakes. So after it cools, I will put a layer of paper towel. I will cover it with my cloth and let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. So you won't see that part. Just know that it will settle. That is the way it's supposed to be. Cut it how many ever slices you want it, and it's ready to serve. Here's what I'm having on the week ahead. I have oatmeal cookie baked oatmeal for breakfast. For lunch, I have these plates of baked boneless, skinless chicken thighs. The oatmeal was 4 points for me. Now the chicken thighs, since I weighed them, I'll just scroll down and get the points the day I eat. And I was going to do, I'm planned for a half a cup of rice, but since this is a little cup container, I just went ahead and not have any left over. So it went from 3 points to 6 points. But my estimated chicken thighs went down, so I think it'll make up in points. And then green beans, of course, are 0. You can't tell in these containers, but I got these at the Dollar Tree, and on the bottom it has a 2 on this because it's 2 cups, and each one of those has a 1 at the bottom because they're 1 cup, so you don't even have to measure separately. Then for dessert, Pound Droppers lemon cheesecake. You can tell that it's already started to pull away from the sides and settle down some, so it's just going to continue to sit here until it's completely cool, and we'll do what we said. Now, that is it for my week. If you're prepping this weekend, I hope you picked something good, something yummy. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it helps you keep on track for the rest of the week. So that will do it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on my next one.